Emily. Hey, Amy.
Uh,
How you doing?
Doing good.
Okay, we are now streaming live on YouTube. Hey! All right. So, Amy, you happy to take over Facebook as usual?
Yeah.
And then Emily, when she comes in, she can do the Instagram because Miss Petra's, I don't think, is going to be here. Emily, and this is our last one of this particular series. Anyway, last one in this series. Obviously, I think I'd be keen to actually continue doing this on an ongoing basis, but we can see what kind of format we can organize for everybody. Right, let me. So, Emily, are you happy to do the Instagram stuff because Miss Petra is not going to be around? Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Awesome. All right. Okay, we are good to go. Okay, welcome. This is Bin Wycherley of Supersize Media with my incredible team of social media, Supersize Media divas, including the marvelous Alberto, the amazing Amy, and the effervescent Emily. Okay then, whatever. Not that effervescent today. We did have a couple of pints last night, so that'll excuse her lack of effervescentry, if there is such a word. All right, so today, for your delectation, we're going to be looking at the beauty industry. In particular, we're looking at a large UK company called Therapie. Oh, here goes Petra after all. A large company called Therapie. And what I thought was going to be a local company called Pure Spa, but actually Pure Spa now is UK. They've got locations all over the UK. So I had underestimated who they were and had not anticipated how much they've been growing lately. But I do know that the woman who runs it is a local Scot. So we're still officially going to call it a local business, even though they've gone really, really big lately. So congratulations to them on that. So therefore, we're pretty much doing a match for match pretty much today. Therapie's got a whole bunch of outlets all over the UK where you can get your nails done, your facials, you can look 20 years younger and have all kinds of treatments, and including laser hair removal, which tends to be a very popular one these days. So as we do every week, we do that breakdown in terms of how are they doing with their marketing online, what's happening with their website, with their branding, their functionality. Is the information easy to use, easy to find, easy to book, easy to subscribe, all those kinds of issues. And then we look at the social media factors. You know, what are they doing on Facebook? Are they killing it? Are they just pretty mediocre, or are they absolutely pants? And they will look at it in detail at what they're doing with their Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, or wherever they tend to be hanging out. So, and we have finally been joined by Miss Petra. Yay! Who's on the team as well. And yeah, so it's a bit slow today just because of the fact that we all had our first meeting last night at the wonderful Boat Bars, and we're a little bit hazy today, but hey, these things happen. Okay, so let me just share my screen, and I'm going to hand over to Alberto for the discussion on how did you think the company called Therapie was doing with their website and branding.
Yes, hello everyone. I was having a look at the website, and usually first thing I do is just to check the traffic on a website called SimilarWeb. They have pretty good traffic, and especially in the past few weeks and months, they got to about 260,000 total visits. I think the reason why it got up is because most of the places have reopened after the lockdowns, both in Scotland and the rest of the UK. They have an average visit duration of 1.30 seconds, and people normally visit about 6 pages, which is quite good. And as we would assume, most of their traffic comes from the United Kingdom and followed by Ireland. And as Finn was saying before, laser hair removal has been pretty popular in the past few years. And therefore, it is one of the keywords that they actually pay to show up on the Google search. So they pay for words such as laser hair removal, laser hair removal nose, and they even spell laser with the Z, because I'm sure like a lot of people might do that mistake. Or is it the American version, I guess?
I think it's American, yeah.
Yeah, it's the American one. And the rest comes from organic search, which is mainly driven by Therapie Clinic, which is their name. And they also have a bit of like traffic from social media, mainly coming from Facebook, about 57%. And then the rest is split by YouTube and Instagram. I have also checked the speed of the page with a tool offered by Google. It's a free tool. You just need to search page speed inside Google, and you paste the link, and it gives you the speed of the website. And their score was pretty low on mobile. They only got 18 over 100, but they definitely did better on the desktop version, which is about 83. So probably it's better for them to check with their developer on the mobile version. I'm pretty sure the pictures are the main reason why the website is quite slow at uploading when visiting. And then the website itself is quite clear that their branding is this violet and white. And I could see also that their offline words, so their clinics, they use the same fonts and color palette, which is quite nice. What I noticed is that they don't have a home button on the website, so sometimes it's a bit tricky to go back to the home page. So it's something that they should probably fix. And also, I was trying just to book some sort of like free consultation for hair removal, but it was a bit slow to load. So that is probably one of the problems that Google Insight found out. But other than that, it's a nice website. They've got like a really good pictures, like high definition. I quite like the fact that they have a mixed ethnic groups in the pictures. That is something that sometimes people unfortunately forget, but it's important to have like represent all the people, because everyone could be your customer. And yes, also they have the social media icons at the bottom, but that is not a huge problem. And I haven't noticed any like special discounts for signing up or putting your email. So that is, again, something that should be improved as well. And last thing is the COVID-19 section. That could be quite important for places like this, for people to feel safe. It's only visible when you scroll down at the bottom on the footer. I would rather have it somewhere at the top highlighted, because it's quite important.
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. Yeah, I agree. When you've been on a page, it's very difficult to go back to the home page again. You kind of have to finagle your way around it a little bit. Yeah. Good review. Thanks for that, Alberto. Okay, let's move on to their Facebook then. Amy, what are we thinking about their Facebook action? Are they winning? Are they losing? Or are they pretty average for the sector?
Okay, so at the top of the page, you'll see that there's a book now call to action. And through clicking onto that takes you to their website, which, as Alberto mentioned, a lot of their traffic is driven by Facebook. And this takes you to a number of consultations, of which most of them are free. So I would say that's quite inviting and letting people just take themselves to this business without really too much commitment because of this free aspect. So in terms of Therapie Clinic running ads, it doesn't appear that they have ever run ads at all.
Wow.
And in terms of engagement, their engagement is generally low on posts. There's generally under 10 likes a post, considering they have 106,000 people liking them on Facebook. I like their branding throughout their Facebook, and as we can see there, they have a Facebook shop. Yeah, going back to branding, they have this purple color right throughout their feed. Their content is the same to their Instagram, and their engagement is a lot higher on Instagram. And they're only really seeing high engagement on Facebook if it's a competition or to win something.
Interesting. So a lot to be improved on the everyday posting. So they seem to be posting a lot, but it's not particularly engaging. So therefore, they're not going to be getting much visibility and reach from that, especially if they're not using any ads. Good one. And then, of course, we're seeing like they're some of the posts are pretty hashtag heavy. You know, Instagram, obviously, you can use up to 30 hashtags per post. But Facebook, generally, if you're moving beyond half a dozen, it's beginning to look like it's an Instagram aesthetic, and that therefore the business has done what all businesses try and do, which is try and be a lot more efficient. So then they post from Instagram into Facebook. But unfortunately, if they keep all the hashtags within the body of the caption, it makes it sometimes look a little bit too Instagrammy, and therefore it gives a message of we don't actually hang out at all on Facebook. And as you can see from these posts, there's no questions, there's no kind of comments or banter or anything. It's just we have 55 clinics. You could have upper hair lip removed in 15 minutes. It'll only take 15 minutes to save you hours over time. So it's very kind of push content and not community building content as well. Obviously, if they were able to actually change their strategy towards being a much more of an engagement strategy, first of all, they would get a lot more people commenting, but second of all, their reach would go up massively as a result, because the only way to inform the algorithms that your content is good is if your community is engaging with it, either through liking, commenting, and sharing, and like as well. Brilliant. Thanks for that, Amy. Brilliant. Okay, let's go on to the Instagram. What are we thinking on the Instagram here, Betra?
Yeah, so Instagram, they have just over 88,000 followers. We can see that they are using the stories, highlights. They have quite a lot of highlights. I would even say, like, to me, it seems quite, like, maybe too many, like a little bit unorganized. I don't know, it's just maybe like they could think about like categories and just like, I don't know, I just think it's maybe too many. Yeah, as we said, they are posting a lot of posts, 14 posts a week, which is like two posts a day, but the engagement rate is only 0.06, which it shows that people are not commenting or like liking or sharing their posts. Yeah, I think it's really nice how they are like using this like purple, they're like brand color on like almost every post. Then in terms of hashtags, they usually use around 6 hashtags per post, so it's good that at least they use some, but still you can use up to 30, so maybe they could just take like full advantage of the hashtags to reach more people. Yeah, so they do Reels and IGTV. They also have some like videos and carousel posts. Yeah, then their bio. I think their bio looks quite good. they are using like emojis and also like only short like sentences or just like some words, so it looks like literally like clear and like easy to read. And oh yeah, and one positive thing that I haven't seen on pure spa Instagram is that they are interacting with the customers. Like when they are asking questions, they are replying to the comments, which pure spa is not doing at all. They are like leaving questions there and not replying. But even though they are like answering, their engagement rate is pretty low. So
Yeah, it's brilliant. So what we normally recommend is that for any engagement strategy, the benchmark minimum is 3% on every single post, which means that overall for your page on Instagram or Facebook is that your page should be having a minimum engagement rate of 3%. And at that point, the algorithms are beginning to understand, okay, objectively speaking, this content is good, and therefore we're going to show it to loads more people. So therefore, even if you only have like 55 followers, it'll actually potentially be seen by 5,000% more people because of the fact that the engagement rate is good. So it sounds like for both companies, they're spending a lot of time doing that content strategy, which is just let's stick up a whole bunch of nice images and make sure we've got a basic caption talking about ourselves. Again, that's coming back to our first clinics. The hero of the story is the company, as opposed to the hero of the story being the person who's experiencing all these difficulties and desires with their particular hair removal or beauty treatments. And instead, we're seeing that the company tends to be the hero of every story. As Petra was saying, you should really be making the most use of all of the 30 hashtags, but you don't necessarily need to put them all within the body of the caption. You can be putting them into the comment section so that it's not going to be looking aesthetically too overbearing on the hashtag level. Good one. Thanks for that, Petra. Emily, any thoughts to summarize on where we are with Therapie Clinic, or what other platforms they're using? So for example, I can see that they're using Twitter and YouTube as well.
Yeah, I had a quick look at both. It seems like a lot of their Twitter is very similar to their Instagram and Facebook, a lot of it, which I suppose it does work. They use quite a lot of hashtags on Twitter, which is a good strategy, but it's also, I don't know, I suppose it's personal opinion, but I think on Twitter you should maybe stick to one or two key hashtags, because your copy is so important, because you've only got so many like characters you can use, obviously. But overall, I was looking at a bit on the ads, and as soon as, funnily enough, we mentioned we were doing therapy on my phone, what was the first thing I got an ad for was from them on Instagram. And what I also found was they work very closely with Vogue Williams, who's an influencer, and I feel like they've done a good job there of saying who they want their target market to be, because she is a yummy mummy who is not neither highbrow or lowbrow. Like, she was famous for being married to a guy in a boy band, and now she's famous for marrying a reality TV star. So it's the sort of women who have a sort of middle income, and she features on their YouTube channels, as you can see, and stuff as well, who are wanting to look good. They're probably in their early 30s, and they have a bit of money to spend, but they're not going to go all out, and they want to find the best sort of place they can for their money. And I think that was a really good, smart choice of like influencer. And I think what I found interesting about their YouTube is that a lot of the videos are, as you can see, are like under a minute, which is an odd strategy. And if I was speaking to them, I would maybe tell them to maybe try and turn them into TikToks or Instagram Reels, because I don't know about anybody else, but like when I go on YouTube, I'm there to watch like a long form video most of the time. Like, I'm expecting probably about 10 minutes of content. I'm not expecting like 50 seconds, and you get so many ads on YouTube that like a lot of people would probably wonder like, is it worth your time? So yeah, that's what I thought anyway.
Brilliant. Thanks for that. And I noticed, so the ads that you got, they were Facebook ads or
Instagram.
Instagram ads? Interesting. And yeah, it didn't come up on the ads research.
Well, I got 3 ads of them, all different. One with Vogue Williams, one with it was sort of an advert to say their salons were open, and another one about laser hair.
Curiouser and curiouser. So what has happened there basically is you've liked the page, and instantly, as soon as you've liked the page or interacted with it, they've got automatic ads that have set up so that if anybody now likes the page, they've got retargeting pixels so that, and they have decided that anybody that interacts with the page, they're going to be shown the ads instantly. So let me just dive into their ads library to see what we can see in terms of their ads.
I swear I got an ad, I promise. But they say they're not running any, but I did get ads.
That's so interesting. Look at that. I wonder what's going on there. Gosh, that's a first. So I have noticed that they do have the Google AdWords set up. So if you do a search for laser hair removal on Google, for example, they're definitely going to be coming up there first. Move on. Or definitely in the top 3. Voila, there you go. So it's got the ad there, it's got the special offer there, so they're taking you to a specific page as well. But that is curious that they've got retargeting ads on, and yet it hasn't come up in the ads research. Right, we're gonna have to dig in a bit further on that one. But well done, thank you for that. That was brilliant. All right, let's move on swiftly to Pure Spa. So Alberto, what are you thinking in terms of their whole branding and the website?
Yes, so I couldn't find enough traffic, enough data for traffic for the website. So unfortunately, I can't give any numbers. At first glance, I think this is a quite old website layout. I haven't seen this side menu in a while. Usually it's at the top, so it's a bit strange to navigate. It's also, you also have so many like sections that it's easy to get lost. I do praise them for having a COVID-19 information section that people can see straight away, and also the use of images that they do. It's good to have images, but I think that most of them are just stock images. Apart from like maybe a few of them. So I think it would be good for them to perhaps organize a photo shoot with a photographer and get a bunch of photos to upload on the website. Also because the one that they're using right now, they're not really high definition, they're quite blurry. And to me, that is not a symptom of quality. Like I would just log off completely, but that's just my opinion. The website is, yes, simple. It does the job. They have a shop as well installed. I've noticed that when you click on the profile icon on the top right, you get a pop-up message for a 10% off of your first purchase. They also seem to advertise their app, which I have downloaded. Again, it's a quite basic app. It's got 4 functions. So you have the book now section, the gift cards, the contact us, and the products section. The last 3, they redirect you to the website. So basically it's pointless to have them there if people have to go back to the website. While the book now section, it's all integrated in the app, and you can book a place and the kind of treatment that you want to have. So that is good. The branding is not really consistent because they do use this black and white on their website, while on the app there is this purple here that I don't think matches the overall branding of the company. And then what else? Yes, I just checked the speed again. They do a bit better compared to the competitor on mobile version. They scored 26 over 100, which again is not great. But they do a bit worse on desktop. They scored 63 over 100. Although I haven't found many issues with this website in terms of speed. My problem is just like with the design that looks a bit old. So they definitely need a refresh for the website, especially because they have so many different
Treatments.
shops and treatments. So I think they deserve a better website because they're almost a national company now. So it would be better for them to have a good website in terms of design.
Perfecto. And do we have the social media icons here somewhere?
We do, but as you can see,
Oof.
when you hovering over an image, you get that link on the bottom left of the screen, and that covers exactly the social media icons, which is a design flow for the website. But then, once you get there, then that disappears and you can access.
But wait, they don't even have Instagram? What's going on here? Can that be true? Could that be true?
They are on Instagram, but they haven't got
They
the
haven't got it on their website.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nothing.
Okay, interesting. All right, thanks for that, Alberto. Hello, Miss Amy. What are we seeing in terms of Facebook then?
Okay, so the call to action shown in the blue button is a sign up, and that takes you to a pop-up to sign up to their newsletter, which offers 10% off the treatment, as Alberto said. When compared to Therapie Clinic, they have one ad currently running, and that is currently a recruitment drive. So they're not really promoting their brand through Facebook ads in that sense. So they've got 17,000 follows on Facebook, but quite similar sort of engagement rates to that of Therapie Clinic. Tends to be around about 10 pieces of engagement in terms of likes and reactions. They've also got the Facebook shop, which is good. But generally, I feel like the brand is not quite as strong with the colors and the images on Facebook.
And it looks like they've got some blogs though, which I don't think the other company had. Yep, interesting. And then they're using beer garden glam. There's a lot of hashtags going on there, which is a similar problem. But again, at least there's a call to action there, telling people and giving them a link to where they should go as a result of looking at that particular post. So without having a couple of calls to action, CTAs, on your social media, you're really not making the most of what social media can do for you in terms of turning your fans into actual paying customers. So always make sure that you're making your caption as entertaining, informative, and engaging as possible, so that you can get the reactions, which hopefully are going to be a bit more than 4. And potentially those 4 could be like the people from the organization that have been told you need to like every post, so it might be the usual suspects that have been told we need to have better engagement as opposed to actual potential customers. So yeah, it seems like both companies are very doing that very kind of check our content type of stuff, as opposed to and just announcing and reporting, which is a completely different aesthetic than you need for social media, where it's all about trying to build communities, engaging, asking questions, being part of the discussion, being part of the story, and helping people in their beauty adventures and challenges that they've got. But well done for actually starting to use the shops as well. That's fantastic. And of course, they're now sponsoring the women's golf as well at People's Golf Club, which is brilliant. Okay, let's move on to Instagram, if I can find it. Carry on, Petra. You can tell me while I'm looking for it.
Yeah, so on Instagram, they have much smaller audience than Therapie, only 3.9 thousand followers. But on the other hand, the engagement rate is much, much higher. It was 0.61. So it's like 6 times what Therapie has. They usually only post around 3 posts per week, so they don't have so much content. Also, yeah, they are using some like stories and highlights, but not so many as Therapie. But I really like the branding color, or they are using like this in the highlights, this like pink, purple, like these like pastel colors. I think it looks much better than just like a picture of the first story. Yeah, but in general, like they don't like overall they don't seem to have like a brand color or like something that they would put on every post. It just like the feed looks quite, like they just post whatever they want to post, but they don't really, I think about like colors or maybe even like font. It seems it's changing on every post. They only do IGTV, not reels, and they use a little bit more hashtags than Therapie, but still they are not using the full capacity. And also what I was saying before, that they don't interact with the customers, and like I've seen like few questions under the posts without any answers. So maybe that's something they could like think about, and I think it's quite important.
Brilliant. Awesome. Thanks for that, Petra. And I would also add that their hashtags are far too generic as well. If you use a hashtag like hashtag Valentine's, that's literally going to be sharing that. I mean, you're literally in a news feed of 18.5 million people. So it's going to be much more useful to use hashtag Valentine's UK or hashtag Valentine's Beauty or hashtag Valentine's Treats or something like that, rather than those gigantic hashtags, which are not going to give you any traffic. Normally, when it comes to hashtags, we always try and recommend that you should be getting at least 20% of your organic traffic through hashtags. And you can find out all that information within your own insights section as well. All right, thanks very much for that, Petra. Okay, moving on. Miss Emily, what are we thinking overall over their Twitter, their Pinterest, and any other issues that you might have come across with Pure Spa?
So on Twitter, they have more followers than Therapeutic. Sorry. Therapie, sorry, the accents and stuff like. But yeah, so they have more followers, which is pretty good. By about 3,000, which is very impressive. But
and by the way, can we just jump in and say we do love them more because they follow me. This is cool. So immediately they get massive points for that.
But they don't have, again, they have the same sort of problem with hashtags. But if you look further back, they never used to. But I think that's too many hashtags for Twitter.
Way too many.
Far too many. And I like the fact that they do have some sort of video content and stuff. And a few of their posts will get 10 likes. That's the highest likes I saw, which, it's not great, but I think a lot of businesses do struggle on Twitter, especially like service-based businesses. But yeah, I think they're doing the right things, like they're sharing podcasts and they're sharing different videos. And yeah, I do think though, if they're sharing videos, I don't know, the links maybe they don't work very well. They take a while to load. That's what I found. But I also had a look at their Pinterest, and I think they're on about 300 monthly views. Yeah, which they don't have a lot of photos. So considering they don't have a lot of pictures on there, really, I think that's pretty good. Like, I think that's it. Yeah. I think it's important on Pinterest to sort of have photos of the area, the sort of spa itself, because people do like that. But I also think it is important if they shared some cool like nail art or things like this. They're really popular on Pinterest. I like nails and hair and makeup are like really popular subjects. I know they have one nail post, but if they picked a really nice like in season color, like chocolate's really popular right now on nails, I think that could be like a really big boost. And I think Pinterest, you know, you have to sort of be following some trends, I think, to do pretty well on it. So if they maybe try to be a bit more trendy on it, I think they would have some more success. But overall, like it's good. Like the photos, like they look good, and it gives the spa a nice feel. So yeah, I think Pinterest, they've done better than most businesses, but there's still a bit to go, I think.
Yeah, interesting. No, I agree with everything that you said, guys. So we can definitely recommend that they should have a brand refresh, because while we can see that the website was built, you know, a while back, you know, it's always a good policy to make sure it's getting refreshed, making sure it's up to date with the latest colors, styles, and everything, and the processes for booking. And what's happening because of that lack of branding on the original kind of website, kind of core building block of the online business, that lack of branding is also translating into lack of branding across the different social media channels as well. Yeah, so a lot more for both organizations, we recommend a lot more focus on highly targeted hashtags and a much more of an engagement strategy rather than that kind of reporting news strategy type thing, which is the equivalent of using social media as a kind of PR platform, which it was never meant to do. It's all about social media. It's all about engaging. It's all about building community and helping people find solutions and satisfying their desires ultimately. All right, so that's pretty much us for today. Thank you very much for joining us. Do feel free to ask any questions, leave any comments down below. We'll get back to you with any questions you might have regarding your own business and branding and social media, of course. And we will be back again for the second season at a time to be disclosed in the future. But in the meanwhile, please feel free to like and subscribe and hit the bell to make sure that you see all the kind of news and videos that we're going to be putting up in the future. So on behalf of me, Finn Wycherley, I want to say thank you very much and goodbye. And also from Alberto.
Thank you, everyone.
Amy. Okay, Emily.
It was lovely to do this, and I'm sure we'll do it again sometime.
There you go. And Miss Petra.
Thank you.
In the usual fantastic, Czech, subtle fashion. We don't need any more fluff. It's just thank you. Good night. Love it. Okay. Thanks very much, guys. See you next time. Cheers. Bye.
See you. Bye.